rain falls, heart burns dry. A dream or a song that hits you so hard, filling you up, suddenly gone.
Welcome, one and all, to One Shot Revolver, episode 4, Blades in the Dark. We have our wonderful GM Lachie with us today. But before we do that, let us do the usual and do the acknowledgement of country for the Australians in the group. So, on behalf of the Australians in our group, I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people and the Noongar people, traditional custodians of the lands on which we meet today, and pay my respects to their elders past and present. Handing over to Jay now for American acknowledgements.
Yes, and I am in the state of Virginia, which is formerly was Monacan Nation land, and the government that's here now took the land from them without compensating the people and continue to occupy it. And we respectfully recognize the Monacan Nation and their title to this land that we are using.
Absolutely. All right. Lachie, tell us all about what we're doing today.
Well, hello and welcome. Today we are playing the fun game of Blades in the Dark by Jan Schulz-Hoppe. It is a fantastic game, and I can highly recommend getting the book. It's not a whole lot for a whole lot of fun. We have our lovely collection of players here today, and myself, and I think we're going to jump pretty much into it, where we're in a world that 1,000 years ago, a cataclysm tore open the land between our world and the land of the dead, spilling out souls, demons, everything else that you can horribly imagine, blotting out the sun and causing an eternal twilight across the lands. We're playing in the city of Doskvol, which is a Victorian-esque city based, protected by lightning towers that are fueled by Leviathan blood and keeping out all those nasties that we don't want to face on a day-to-day basis. Our collection of players are a group of smugglers known as the Revolvers, with a strange reputation for getting things done. And I think we'll go through and meet them. Is probably our best option. Do you want to start? Danielle, do you want to jump us in? Let's hear about your character.
All right. I'm Harker, Joan Aloro, if you want a real name. Not that anyone uses it. I come from the Dagger Isles originally, but really all that means is I've spent most of my life on ships, up and down the rivers, up and down the oceans. I've seen the Leviathan once from a distance. Wouldn't want to see one closer up than that, ideally.
Nice. Love it. Are there any particular physical features that, might stand out about Harker?
I aim to be nondescript.
All right.
Dress a bit scruffy.
Aim to blend in the background?
Yeah, I find blending in the background is just so much more useful in Doskvol. If people know what you look like, they come looking for you. Nice.
All right, look, we're moving up. Let's see, Jay, you want to fill us in? Here's something what your character's about.
My character also is from that same region, the Dagger Isles. Aldo Savoy, known as Auldi, is a Psy-Sicker, and when he spent his time in the jungle areas that are down there, he learned to kind of take care of himself and others, even though the cataclysm broke forth that spirit world. So, he has an amulet that he carries, and he's got a dark cape, and he's now working in Doskvol for the crows and helping them out.
Nice. And on weekends, he rents himself out to the Revolvers, I guess.
Moonlights. He's trying to create a stash.
All right, moving around the board, let's jump over to Damien. What do you got?
Hello all, I am playing Alexander Prichard. Very average-looking man, kind of calm, bony, middle-aged, wearing very average street clothes. He grew up in the town of Doskvol, so he has Akaros heritage. And in his early to mid-20s, he stole 5 pairs of shoes and was sent to Scotland for 10 years of hard labour. He escaped and made his way back to Doskvol and joined up with the Revolvers. And he's known as a bit of an odd character.
Nice. Love it. All right. Well, I think with that, we're just going to jump straight into a little bit of free play and see what's going on. I think our characters are all traveling. So what do you think? Let's start with, we'll go back to Joan. What do you reckon Joan does on a day-to-day basis?
Day-to-day basis, wander around. I mean, we're based in night market, so just have a look at who's doing what and who's bringing what into the city, who's trying to get what out of the city, if there are any new ships coming in. I mean, spark is really what it's all about, so it's always good to know when something's going on. Most of the time, just watching people. It's not lazing about. I'm watching people.
All right. Well, let's just say you're walking down night markets, checking out little stalls that have been set up along the side, and as you're admiring some necklace or doodad that's being hawked from the side of the road, a figure walks up, stands next to you, and draws a cigarette. Harker, good to see you. And you can turn to look, and you notice it is your crew's friend from the dock workers, Alin.
Alin. Haven't seen you around here for a while. What's going on?
A little bit of a problem. I was expecting a delivery to come in, but hasn't arrived. Let's walk and talk. And so, starts directing down the streets and keeping out of the way of prying ears. So word on the street was I had a delivery coming in through the ships, and I draw on a cigarette. But change of plans. Apparently someone let loose that there's been some smuggling going through the docks, and I seem to not be getting my delivery today. So it's coming through the rails. I'm hoping you might be able to help me out and maybe intercept the delivery before it makes its way into the main train station. I would hate for the ministry to pick up on what's being delivered. So if you maybe step outside the walls, pick it up, and see how we go. What do you say?
I think we could probably agree on something. I mean, I'd have to put the crew together. How big a delivery are we talking?
Look, it's actually just a large container of Black Lotus flowers. And you would know that Black Lotus is actually ground up to make a tar-like resin that can induce comas, and it also makes people into a drug-like stupor and creates visions and things. It's the low end of drugs, but there's needs for it for other reasons as well. The delivery itself is worth about 4 coin, but I'm willing to halve it if you were to pick it up for me. 2 coin for the job, and if it's returned safe and sound.
Like a decent deal. Don't have much else on at the moment.
Much appreciated. All right. Well,
expecting it in today?
I'm expecting it to arrive in the next couple of days, but as I don't have many contacts throughout the peacekeepers, it's a bit difficult to know exactly when it's coming.
All right. Let's
Much
see what we can
appreciated.
dig up.
Yeah, takes one large inhaling cigarette, puts it on the ground, stomps it out, and we talk it, and then walks off, hands in pockets. And we zoom out and come across the city, and we'll go over and see what Auldi's doing. What do you reckon Auldi does on a day-to-day basis?
Well, Aldi spends his time in section of the city where the crows have their lair, always moving. The trick is to not stay in one spot. And then when he's really trying not to be found, he'll head out to the rail yard where he's got a little bit of a hideout. So that's kind of what he does.
Nice. I think you've got a friend at the apothecary named Stasia.
Yes.
And so I'm sort of thinking at some point, you go to have a drink or meet up with Stasia, and she seems a bit stressed. She's just, a little bit fidgety, looking around, just, trying to keep herself busy. What would you like to do?
So I think I would say, friend, you look uneasy.
All good. It's fine. And she hands it fidgeting. She's just a little worried about things.
I'm a size sicker. I can tell your heart's racing, but I don't need to be a size sicker to do that.
Yes. And she pulls you in closer. I've recently been supplying someone with a little something on the side. It's just help them out, but rumor has it that they've been selling it on the side against my knowledge, of course. But if they were to find out that it would come back to me that they sold this thing, then I'd be in a lot of trouble. And well, the problem is that they were recently killed, but their spirit's been captured by the spirit wardens, friends of yours, I assume. It would really help me out if that they were taken care of. So I mean, it helps because there'd be no ghost in the city. But my problem is that if they were to get this particular ghost to talk, I could lose my shop. I could lose everything.
So you want to liberate a ghost from?
Yes, his liberation is good. Yes, yes. If you'd be so kind as to help me liberate, I'd be willing to offer you, some of the wares for my shop. I mean, you use these materials all the time, so perhaps I can give you some store credit or something similar.
Well, is there any reason that anybody should particularly care about this particular ghost if they don't have reason to care?
No. It's purely that, I wouldn't much care for this information to get out that I've been supplying things on the side and, tax-free and et cetera. So,
well, what I'm getting at is this isn't the ghost of a very, very important person, is it? Or anything?
Oh, no. It's just, yeah. And she leans, I think they're a drug dealer. A bit shocked. But they harness things. I mean, so they've probably got friends in low places, but I don't think anyone's going to mind if this person who's already dead is more dead.
Well, if somebody wants to pay for their spirit in solid coin, I could find a way.
Yeah, I can round that up. What do you say? 2 coin to get this ghost back to me.
Up front, please.
Okay. Look, we've got some history. I can do that. How about 1 coin now and 1 coin later, just to make sure you don't run off.
We can have it. That's fine.
Done. And so she'll give you a coin. Yeah. She slides a coin across. We zoom out of that door and then travel across the towns to casual friend of Alexander's. So what do you reckon Alexander does on a day-to-day basis?
Alexander spends most of his time in the rail car, actually, making sharp things out of whatever he can find, tree branches, the like. But the keen-eyed will notice that every now and then he gets a bit jittery and steps out. And when he comes back, he has something in a little paper bag. And once he's eaten this, he's usually much calmer.
Nice. So yeah, I think you're, in the rail car where you get a knock on the door. There's this dunk, dunk, dunk.
Hello.
The door slides open, and you see Grace standing there, your extortionist friend. So, good to make your acquaintance again, Alexander.
Grace.
You seem busy. She's looking around at all the scraps of, shards you've been laying around the floor.
Nothing out of the ordinary. Same old, same old.
But of course. I have a potential job for you, if you'd be so kind as to take it up. I have a person I've lent some money to, and as such, they haven't returned these funds. It'd be so kind of you if you were to meet this person and get my share of what they owed. I mean, I originally offered them 3 coin, and plus interest return. They should owe me about 8 by now. I'm willing to break it up and give you half should you return the money.
What are the obstacles?
The hardest part is that with this coin, he's managed to buy a boat for himself, and he's set up a casino out on the water. I frankly don't like getting my feet wet or my hands dirty, but if you were to find a way to get out to this casino boat, rough him up, get my 8 coin back and whatever additional that you might find upon the boat, return it to me, I think we'll call it even. 4 coin for me, 4 coin for you, plus whatever loot you find upon this boat.
Sounds like this man has a lot more than 8 coin.
Oh, yes, quite likely, depending on how well he stacks the odds for the house.
I don't like gambling.
Well, perhaps you should put a stop to it. Help us both out.
I don't like gambling. I don't like drugs.
Well, I'm sure that there might be
well.
something to send people into a stupor upon board. Who knows? The high and mighty love to enjoy their wealth as well as they enjoy their stupors.
I'll do it. I won't even do it for the money.
She hands you a ticket. This should get you aboard. Unfortunately, it'll only get one of you across, but should you be to use that or find a way to get more, whatever you so desire, I don't mind about your methods as long as you get results. Been good talking to you, Alexander.
Grace.
And, turns and walks away out of the trade yard. So you've got a few options, which, what do you think, people? What score stands out? Let's say you all meet back at the train car. What's going to happen?
I'll let the others know that Ellen's got a shipment coming in that we could help her out with.
What's in the shipment?
Black Lotus.
Horrible stuff.
It is, but it's the low end of horrible. She promised us 2 coin for it and get to step outside the walls, step back in. Pretty easy going.
So they want the Black Lotus back.
Black Lotus is coming in. It was coming in through the docks, but there's been an issue. It's coming in through the rail lines instead. Just need to intercept it before it gets here.
Not a fan of drugs.
Yeah, you never were.
Aldi, what about you?
Me? Got a visit from an old friend today. I took advance on a coin. I might have to risk my reputation and liberate a ghost for this friend. But I've got another coin coming if we can smuggle a spirit of some no-name drug dealer.
What if we don't do this thing?
I'll take care of it on my downtime. I'll be in the area anyway. What's that?
Who's got the spirit now?
Spirit wardens?
Well, I've got, the casino boat. Apparently, my friend Grace was ripped off. They owed 8 coin.
8.
Yeah.
Said they give us 4.
Well, the
Don't
boat's
really
the
care
most
about the money.
lucrative.
It is. How are we going to get over there, though?
I've got a ticket for one of us. What about the other 2?
Yeah. True.
Well, if they call for a doctor, I could be the closest. Sicker.
Good point, that.
Thought you didn't like gambling either.
Hate gambling.
Do you hate
That's
gambling
what
or drugs more?
How do we
Gambling.
how do we make them call for a doctor or a sicker? How do we get them to?
Well, I could probably take care of that. When there's a lot of blood, you usually need a sicker.
Well, so
That means you'd need to be using the ticket to get over there and cause the blood, Alexander.
Yeah. What about you, Harker? Any ideas?
I'll probably find somebody to take me over as a guest, you know. I brush up pretty well if I try.
Yes, you do have a certain charm.
The kind of you could say. Are we going to the casino?
I think that sounds wise.
I think that's the first stop. We might be able to do all of these operations.
They can go smooth over water. They can't, can they? They need boats same as the rest of us.
Can ghosts move over water?
Yeah. Without a boat, I mean.
Not an expert. Probably your area.
You could roll me an occult roll if you so desire. Sorry, a tune roll. Normally, you would pick what you're rolling, but I'd say, being that we're new to this, you can give me an attune roll.
Ooh, first roll. Yeah.
It is a controlled roll for a standard event.
Okay, controlled roll, standard event. No bonus dice?
No bonus dice. Yeah, great. Okay, so you're 6 for a success. You would know that ghosts have the ability to move through the ghost field, which is a almost alternate dimension to ours, which looks similar to a collection of tunnels that will put you in and spit you out somewhere else. So as you see a ghost kind of disappear in front of you, they usually step onto this plane and step out somewhere else. So it's not as accurate as, one might hope, but should they need to get over there, they probably could.
Sound like you have a plan in mind.
I was just thinking, Aldi's got this ghost that wants liberating, and we've got a casino to frighten. We could always see if the ghost wants to help us out. After all, I'm pretty sure no spirits want to stay with the spirit wardens.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, we're doing that spirit a favor.
You always did think outside the box, Harker. I like it.
I like it too.
Kind of what we do, right?
Go the revolvers.
So are we going with the spirit catching score? Is that what I'm hearing?
Spirit, and then hopefully we can use that to do the casino after.
Alrighty. Let's go. All right, so the way that the score works is we pick the score, which is going to be collecting a spirit from the spirit wardens. You choose how you're going to enter. Now, there is different methods. You can do assault, where you go straight on violence to get what you want. Deception, where you trick, lure, or manipulate people. Stealth, where you hide and try to go unseen. Occult, where you engage the supernatural power. Social, where you negotiate, bargain, or persuade. Or transport, where you carry cargo or people through danger. Which one how do you reckon you'll go about this particular method? Assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, transport.
Get in.
So we've got to get. So go over it again. We've got to get a ghost from.
You're going to
From the spirit
essentially
warden.
steal a ghost from the
From the
spirit wardens. The spirit wardens
Spirit
are
Warden.
no joke. They're pretty tough characters. Being that Aldi's worked with the crows before, who are essentially like baby spirit wardens. You might have a chance to get in. Let me give you some details on them. The bronze masked hunters who destroy rogue spirits. They also run Bellwether Crematorium and properly dispose of corpses. That is their main job. But yeah, they're no joke. They're a tier 4 crew, and you are currently tier 0.
Ooh.
Well, I think this is something that is fairly routine for them.
Yeah, it is. Collecting a ghost, try and question it with their supernatural ways.
So
maybe just some kind of persuasion.
ooh,
Yeah, you can do social, which is negotiate, bargain, or persuade, or deception, which is the lure, trick, or manipulate, if you want to go the talky route.
is there any way we could do like a switcheroo? Like get another ghost and like switch the ghosts.
Yeah, you could do that. That might be more occult, engaged in a supernatural power.
Well, I can see ghosts around us all the time. So
Yeah.
we could just find
I
one.
forgot about that. Yeah, that's a great idea.
The fun thing about this game is that every character can do every action. So although you might not have any little pips that in a tune, you still can do these things. There is always a way that you can do any skill. It's just some people are better at it than others. So, yeah, feel free to do that. And you also don't have to use a skill associated with that particular thing. Say you might want to, put a ghost in a jar, and you say, normally a person might think a tune where you say, I want to use skirmish to try and wrangle this ghost in. And I'm like, all right, but that might change the riskiness of doing it or the effect of doing it. So depending on how you go about things changes your position on it and your effect on it. So, and you can also improve that effect or situation by spending stress to try and improve these results. So you push yourself.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
The spirit wardens destroy the ghosts?
They do normally, yes. No, yes, they tend to dispose of ghosts because they don't want ghosts wandering around the city. Now, should there be some reason that they need to hold on to a ghost and question it, then that is what seems to be, well, that's what this person believes is the situation at this moment. Stasia said that she thinks that they're going to question this ghost, which might lead back to her, and she doesn't want that.
So what if we, I guess the crows aren't terribly influential if this is a tier 4 group, but could there have been a mistake on the on the crows in the crows territory with this this spirit, and this spirit was meant for termination?
There could be, if that's how you would like to, engage in the situation.
Are we going with mistake or are we going with the switcheroo?
Mistake or what?
Switcheroo. Find another ghost.
Switcheroo.
Switch out.
Well, I think the switcheroo might be the most effective, because then they question a ghost and they'd be like, this doesn't make any sense, and probably just send it on for disposal. It probably has a better chance of less detection or something.
Yeah, switcheroo. Let's go for it.
All right, so we're going with the switcheroo, but what method are we going to do it? Is it going to be occult, deception, stealth, assault, social, or transport? So you're going to try and bargain your way to do this? You're going to try and just use other spiritual things to switch it out? What method do you want to try and?
I think stealth is the way to go. Like just sneak it so that no one ever realizes that it's a different ghost.
Sneak straight in?
Yeah.
Well, I have some thoughts about the occult, right? Because we've got two two individuals from the Dagger Isles who have experience with spirits. And the Dagger Isles, they do things a little differently.
It's true.
So
This is true. This is true.
we might have some ways of moving spirits over short distances and making this exchange happen once we get the right conditions in close enough.
All right. So we're thinking stealth. Is that still the option here, or do you want to go occult?
I mean, I think that still seems like it could be stealth.
All right, stealth. So yeah, that's fine. We can do a stealth job. Now you just need to pick the detail, which is your point of infiltration. So how do you think you're going to get in? They have a massive crematorium that is in White Crown, which is there's probably a map there somewhere.
Yeah, I want to.
Let me jump to White Crown.
White Crown, that's the island.
Is there somebody? Is there like a mortician or whatever who transfers the bodies in and out?
They usually do that.
Yeah, that's probably one of the Crow's jobs. They're a tier 2 group that, go and collect. So you've got Auldi that works with them. So, you could try and sneak your way through there.
Yeah, dress up as a crow and try to sneak past.
Yeah.
I think we can be reasonably successful at making them look like my home crowd.
All right. So your goal to get in there is just going to be acting like the Crows, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Done. That's our we're stealthing in by acting like the Crows. That's our method and detail. All right. So we pick our loadouts. So the score started. We're picking our loadouts. We're walking up to the place. Pick how many. So pick your load. So 3, 5, or 6. So light, heavy, or light, normal, or heavy. And you choose how many items you think you'll be bringing into this location.
Oh, I mean, if we're faking being the Crows, we probably can't do heavy. We could probably get away with normal.
Yep, that sounds fair.
Yep. So we each do normal. Yeah.
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 Nice.
So and then we have 5 points to spend in items.
Beautiful. Alrighty, so now we're going to choose some the engagement roll. This is basically how lucky you are in the situation of this particular endeavor. So you start off with 1 dice, like 1d6 for your general luck, sheer luck of the adventure. Is this operation particularly bold or daring? I'm going to say, yeah, it is. So you'll get a bonus dice because of how daring this is. Does the plan's detail expose any vulnerability of the target? Potentially. You're coming in dressed as crows or acting as crows. If they don't check that situation, I'm going to say yes, you get a bonus dice. You're currently 3 dice for the situation. Is the target strongest? Is this the strongest approach, or do they have any particular defenses or special preparations? I'm going to say with a tier 4 crew like the Spirit Wardens, yes, they're going to have a method of checking over to make sure this is all settled. So I'm taking away a dice for that, which puts you back to 2. Any friends or contacts? Yes, you are part of the Crows. You get a dice for that, so back to 3. No enemies or rivals are interfering with the operation, so you're not losing any there. And are there any other elements you wanted to consider? You are a lower tier by a lot. I'm going to actually take away 2 dice, which just puts you at 1 dice. So we give you a D6, and the higher up you are, the better you go. So 2. All right, this is going to be a difficult adventure. Everyone's on guard. Everyone is prepped for what's going on. So a lot of the times you're going to be doing things, it will be a difficult position to try and do most of what you want because they are on guard. Alrighty, I will give you a information gathering roll before we jump in, unless if you don't want to, you don't have to. But is there anything you want to do before you start walking up dressed as the crows into this place.
I want to see if I can find a ghost to switch out the one that we're stealing.
Okay, cool. What method do you think you're going to go ghost finding?
Probably a tune. I'm probably going to check out the ghost plane to see what ghosts are around, see if there's anyone similar to our target, see if there are any ghosts that are tired of ghosting and actually just
I love it. Tired of ghosting. Oh, I'm tired of ghosting.
All right,
ghosts
so
have to get depression too, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right, so you've got on your collection of items that don't take much, you got a fine spirit mask, and that's a veil that you wear over your face that allows you to see ghosts and everything else. That is a collection within your stuff.
Okay.
Now, that is not an italic item, so you can just have that. So you have to use up one of your items to wear that. But yeah, so what method would you like to try and convince this ghost that it wants to die? I'm guessing that's... Give me you can pick any of those options. If you hover over the skill, it actually tells you what they do. I'll read them through for the audience. So you've got Hunt, which is to gather information or track a person's movements. Study is assess a situation, person, go through documents. Survey is trying to look out on an area, see what the situation is, try and find opportunities. Tinker is your ability to build things or modify or disable, pick a lock, that type of stuff. Finesse, you've got, trying to pick someone's pocket or use misdirection of hand. Prowl is your ability to sneak or be unseen, climb, swim, jump. All those things fall under that. Close combat can also, throat cutting from behind can be a prowl option. Skirmish is your ability to straight up fight, punch someone in the face, wrestle them. Wreck is your straight up ability to destroy, sabotage, breach defenses by force. Attune is your usual communication with the ghost field spirits, interacting with electroplasmic energy, that type of stuff. Command is your ability to say, hey, do this, and force them to do such a thing, lead an action and say, hey, do that, I'm helping, blah, blah, blah. Consort is pulling information from your background, talking to people, getting, persuading them to do what you want. And Sway is very much you're using charm, logic, deception, disguise, bluff to change someone's opinion or something. That's normally what they are, but if you want to justify, I want to use command to, punch someone in the face, you can do it. It might not be as effective, but that is an option that you can do within this game.
So
What
I was
happens if
feeling...
I was going to say, what happens if you wreck a spirit?
Yeah, you can try and do that. You can try and destroy a spirit. Yeah. So you want to just go straight up. You want to destroy a spirit purely by wrecking. I'm going to say, right, well, for example, in that situation, I'd say, well, you're probably in a risky situation in case the ghost fights back for limited effect, because trying to punch a ghost isn't too successful without you using a item or something in your thing to improve the effect. Or you can try and push yourself by taking 2 stress, and that will increase the effect. The other thing you can do in this game is called a devil's bargain. Now, I can offer them at different points, or you can say, can I hear a devil's bargain? You can say, all right, it'll give you an extra dice, or it'll give you a greater effect in exchange for something bad happening. So you might say, I want to try and wreck the ghost. And I say, okay, well, that's going to be, risky for limited effect. I want to improve that effect. I hear a devil's bargain. I say, all right, well, I'm going to do it, but you're going to take a harm by doing that. So by punching the ghost, you take electroplasmic burn, level 1 harm. That happens, but you get an extra effect on what's going to happen. So, those are options that you can do. So
I was feeling either attune or sway. Attune lets me communicate with ghosts, and sway is more the kind of convince them to do something. So I'm not sure which one would be the better choice.
Yeah. So what would you like? You can go with whatever your heart desires.
Well,
normally attune would probably be better for you in this situation, being you have 2 pips in it. So you probably want to try and convince me how attune's going to be greater.
Attune lets me actually talk to the ghost. And since I can already see the ghost with the mask, and I'm aware of all the ghosts and demons and whatnot around me with my ghost mind, really a lot of what I do when I'm hanging about the city is I wander around and just kind of talk to all the supernatural entities that other people can't see. That's part of why people think I'm particularly weird. I literally talk to dead people.
Right. Love it. All right. So, let's. So, what's your ultimate goal here? You're attuning to the ghost field to.
I am trying to find a ghost that either is similar enough to the ghost that we're trying to steal that generally no one will notice that it's the difference between one low-life drug dealer and another low-life drug dealer.
Okay.
Or, if there is one, a ghost that genuinely wants to die.
All right, cool. All right, so we're going to use a tune to find a ghost that wants to not be a ghost, which isn't unreasonable. All right, so give me that attunement roll. It is I'm going to say it's controlled because you're not, the ghost the ones you're after don't seem particularly hostile.
Yep.
Now, look, I'm going to push it to risky. In case they are hostile, they're going to come at you being like, why you want me dead? So risky for, say, standard effect to, see whether you can do this.
Okay, and I get a bonus dice for gathering information about the supernatural?
Yep, so that's one bonus dice from your ghost mind ability.
Ooh.
Yes,
353.
Yes, okay, so your highest roll there, your 353, highest roll is a 5. I'm going to say that, you successfully find one that wants to do it, but in exchange, you have to, this particular ghost wants you to steal an heirloom from someone that, took an item from them when they died, and their unfinished business is that they want to return this item to their daughter. So in exchange for that, basically they say, all right, if you don't return this, I shall cause my other friends to hunt upon you and your kin. And so, you basically now have a request from a ghost to steal an item for them. And if you don't do that, they're going to hunt you down.
Okay.
So you have a chat with them over, a cup of ghost tea, and they give you the details about, this person you need to hunt down and find their daughter and things like that. So,
so I put that down as a note.
Down as a note, because it's another score altogether. But if you don't take care of that bag, things are going to happen in the future. That is your consequence for that roll. But you found a ghost that's willing to get into a jar in exchange for you taking care of that for them.
Cool.
So you now have a ghost.
Excellent.
Ghost in a jar. Fantastic.
All right. So as you continue to walk up, you've got a ghost in a jar. Is there anything else anyone wants to do as you approach this crematorium?
Yeah. I'm thinking that I want to prepare a sort of duplicate container for the. So I'm almost thinking that this containment device. I mean, they've got one ghost, and I could have one that looks empty, but perhaps that, or is empty, and we can put the ghost in it and make it a switch. Okay,
so you're trying to create a container that looks empty even when a ghost's in it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm gonna tinker to make it, look like it's an empty container.
All right.
So that, and yeah.
All right. Sweet. All right. So in this situation, did you want to use any particular items, or I don't think the crew has any? No, we've got nothing there for the crew that'll help you out.
I can tinker, but is that?
That's fine. You can tinker. I will say it is controlled for standard effect. Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with it. If you succeed, you think you've succeeded.
All right. I need to now go to the screen with the. So you said it's controlled.
Controlled for standard effect.
Okay. So I hit submit when I hit controlled and standard. Do I put any bonus dice? I have
not unless you want to push, unless you stress yourself to do extra, or if you've got an ability or something that you want to use to try and.
No, I have my 2 dice that are there.
Yep, that's it. So no bonus dice.
Okay.
5 and a 4. All right. Yeah, no, you managed to make what you believe is a successful, container. But I'm going to say if anyone with, decent knowledge about it is going to realize it's a fake. But to the untrained eye, it looks like it will hold a ghost successfully. So I'm going to say you've successfully done it. But if someone were to hold it and pay attention, they're going to realize that this thing is fake.
So wait, I was. This is a container that looks like it doesn't have a ghost in it, but actually does.
Yep, okay. and so you've created one successfully.
Okay,
but it's a really decent mock-up. But it's basically if one of the, because it's going to be a container that looks like what the Spirit Wardens use, I assume. Yeah, that's what we're going for.
Yeah, and we would want it to be able to change to look like it had a ghost in it if we wanted it to change.
Okay, so it's got a little light switch on the bottom. You can flick it up to be like, cool, there's a ghost in here. Okay, all right, cool.
Like,
so you successfully
the ghost
done that.
Isn't there now? The ghost's there, right?
Yeah, and so I'm going to say if something happens that draws their attention to this, then So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a clock. This game has clocks where if something happens, then it starts building. So I'm going to create a 4-segment clock called Ghost Jar. Now, if things happen that cause people to know that this thing is fake, then it's going to be alerted. But at the moment, you've got one segment filled. If you all look at your crew sheet, you can see under clocks on the right-hand side, I've got Ghost Jar, and it's got one little pie piece filled in this corner. Should that be noticed, then you're going to run into some problems. But at the moment, you've got 3 things before someone notices this jar is fake. So you're all good. So you have a fake jar, you got a real ghost, and you're walking up to the crematorium. How about Alex? Has he got anything he wants to assist with?
Before we get in there?
Before we get in, as you slow motion walk up to the crematorium, dressed as, I'm assuming, crows, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a graveyard close by?
Not close by. They tend to not want to have graveyards within the, within this town because, unless the body's cremated completely, there's more like a little, there's areas which have monuments to people. Place for mourning, but there's nothing more than dust in those locations. So if you want, you've got that type of area. If you want to go an older graveyard, you'll have to go outside the barriers to the old world where graves existed.
Perhaps we say in the past then, on one of his jobs, he came across a skeleton or something. Because I want to create like a shiv out of a bone.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I will allow that.
As an unusual weapon.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, done. You can just have that. That's all good. You've managed to...
Yep.
Yeah, at some point you've come across a bone and created a shiv out of a bone.
Yep. That'll do. Yep.
Great. All right, cool. So you guys are approaching up to the front, and you open up through the door, I assume, and you see like Auldi's done this before. There's a procedure. You come in, you say, approach the front desk. There is a reasonable hustle and bustle of these guys wearing bronze masks, standing behind these counters, and as you approach, you're directed to an empty desk. This reasonably hulking, lurking figure looks over the desk down at you. Reason for arrival?
There's been a container malfunction.
That seems unlikely. Our works are that of expert quality. What malfunction do you believe is the case?
Containment breach potential.
What do you wish us to do about it?
Replacement container. I have one available. I've been sent.
Give me a roll. What roll would you like to do to try and convince this guy of otherwise?
Oh, wow. Consort.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take on some stress to try to...
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now that at the moment it is risky for limited effect, like trying to convince this person that one of their great devices don't work. So you'd have to either push yourself to do an extra dice. Should you fail, I'm going to fill in 2 segments of your ghost jar being noticed.
Ooh.
Ooh. Is this giving me a second chance to rethink how I'm
No, I'm telling you the situation. That's what's going to go down if you go for
is there a devil's bargain on this? I mean, I'm like
devil's bargain. What would you like? Would you want to improve the dice roll or the amount of dice? Or do you want to improve the or do you improve the result from limited to...
I want to improve the result. I need this to be impactful, and we need to get past the gate house.
All right. I will...
Yes, we can't fail on our first...
The devil's bargain I will give you is I will increase the effect in exchange for ticking one of the clock wheels on the ghost jar. So should you fail, they straight up notice that it is fake. Because it'll fill in all... You're going to get 2 points for a failure. But if the devil's bargain is you take 1 point now to improve the effect.
But yesterday, I went and had a quiet conversation with one of the greycoats and told him that this particular guard had been having an affair with his wife. And that at this moment in time, we were going to make sure that the guard was there so that he could have it out with him about this unfortunate affair. Okay. And he wanted to come and come to the crematorium.
All right, so what I'm hearing is you're wanting to do a flashback to this moment in time where you've basically convinced this guy that this bronze-faced guy is having an affair with his wife. Is that what I'm hearing? Mm-hmm. And you basically plan to arrive at the moment that this guy's arrived as well? Is that what we're aiming for?
I've planned to have him arrive very shortly before or after us so that he can throw down with the guy.
Okay. I like this, yeah.
I will give you... It's going to be 1 stress to do that flashback, but I'm going to need a roll to see how you convince this guy that this guy's having an affair with his wife. So take 1 stress. So tick that little flag above the stress bar.
Where is stress bar?
Just under your vice or above your arm. There you go. Yep,
yeah.
1 stress, and give me a roll. What roll do you want to use to convince this greycoat that?
I reckon sway would be the roll to use.
All right, done. Yeah, you're happy with the 1 dice? You're rolling 1 dice for that. It'll be controlled for standard effect, I guess. Yeah, let's go with that. Should be the stress. So you've currently got 1 dice for that. If you want to push yourself, take some stress to do, to give yourself an extra dice.
I don't know.
Just roll 1 dice and see how successful you are.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's try 1 dice and see what I get.
All right.
Yeah.
Controlled standard. No bonus dice.
4. Success with a consequence. All right. Yeah, no. Okay, so I'm going to say success. This guy storms in right as you're about to have this conversation. And he's like, you've been sleeping with my wife. And then what's it called? The downside to your consequence for the 4, so success with the consequence, is that he points you out and it's like, this girl came in and told me yesterday that you've been sleeping with my wife. So you've been roped into this already. So he's a little on guard, but this guy seems flustered. So I'm going to increase the effect of what this is just to try and get you out of the situation. So you've currently got a risky for a standard effect situation without a devil's bargain on your roll there, Alex. There is mayhem that's currently popping up.
Now, with the mayhem, I'll take the devil's bargain.
Devil's bargain, so great effect.
So much going on.
Yeah, so do you want to use it for the extra dice or do you want to use it for a greater effect?
I want to use it. Well, so wait, I'm trying to understand the nuance between the two because...
basically, if for a great effect... you're basically trying to convince him that this thing is broken that was your original goal, is to say, cool, there's been a containment issue. We need to get in there to replace it. At the moment, it's limited effect. Originally, it started as limited effect being like, I don't think our things will break. The flashback has improved that to be like, I need you guys out of here, so just go. So it's a standard effect for him to let you through now. And you can either push it to a great effect where he's just going to, wave you through. I don't think the great effect's going to be much more than you might skip past the next level of security, something like that. But the other option is a extra dice, which will make it so that it'll give you a similar effect to the standard.
Yeah.
So extra dice might be better in the situation.
I think the extra dice is
extra dice in exchange for one of your segments being filled in on your fake ghost jar. So you've currently got one bonus dice.
Good, folks.
Yep, perfect.
One bonus dice in exchange for that. So roll it up. What was it?
Which one do I roll on again here?
This is what was it? What skill do you want to use to convince him that this needed to be done? Was it a?
It was consort. I think is what I was.
Yeah. All right. So you're consorting with him to convince him this. So give me a consort roll, standard effect for risky for standard effect.
Wait, but you get one risky, bonus. Right?
Yeah, risky.
Risky.
Standard effect.
Standard.
One bonus dice.
One bonus dice.
Okay. Yeah, cool. You success with a consequence. I'm going to... Yeah, all right. So basically, all right, fine. Just look, move through. Please, sir, leave this place. I'm sick of this. This is my place of business. I don't even know you. I don't know your wife. And there's heated argument going between why he's like, let's just go. Go, waves you through. The consequence is going to be that he's going to like, hey, and he waves over one of his guys. Go with them. And this security guard who is standing to the side, another bronze mask thing, comes up behind you and starts walking with your group down the corridors. As you leave the main front entrance, open through these double doors. So you've currently got you three, your little cart with a jar, and a security guard following behind. And so, you're walking down the corridor, is there? Do you know where you're going? As the doors swing and you're hearing this argument out in the foyer between this guy and someone sleeping with his wife.
Aren't you escorting us?
I am. My job is to make sure things... Very well. Lead the way.
Auldi.
All right.
We know where we're going.
So I proceed to the area where the spirit wardens would be receiving spirits into the area.
All right. Give me a roll to find your way. It is a, let's say it's let's say risky for standard effect, only because you got the security guard there watching every move you do.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah.
So wait, how do I do this standard roll? This is what
So basically you pick any skill. You're going to tell me how you're going to know the way to where this is going to be. Whether this might be an opportunity for a flashback potentially. Not going to put words in your mouth, but flashback to try and figure something like this out.
Yeah, I mean, I think I am going to take advantage of the flashback because as somebody that's worked for the Crows for years, I've had some insight into this building. It's not the first time that I've been around or in it, and I may not have an exact layout, but I probably generally know the section of the building where I would need to go to do this.
So that's fine. So I will give you like the effect will be greater, like so you'll know exactly how to get there. So I'll improve the effect because of your background. So I'll give you that, but because of it won't. Actually, no. Look, I'll pull it down to controlled. So it's controlled for standard effect. Should you roll well because of your background, but it's not going to give you any bonus dice in that situation. And you won't need to spend stress on that. That's just purely background information you've had. So odds are that you'll be in the general area that you need to be in, but it won't be a standard effect to get exactly what you want. Actually, I think I'm messing this up. Well, I'm going to change it around. Sorry. We'll say it's still risky, but it's going to be for standard effect as opposed to so for great effect should you succeed, because you'll know exactly where you need to be. Yep.
I've decided I'm going to use survey. Right.
Just you follow signs and things in the area, or how are you using the survey skill to know?
So I mean, I've looked around prior to getting here and looked at the outside of the building. I've been looking at signs as I'm going in. I'm looking at people. I'm remembering. I'm bringing back all, the flashback and bringing all of this together to guide me to the west wing of the building, which is where they have the system set up for the entry point for spirits and Beautiful. Where they've got their sorting facility.
Great. All right, give me a survey roll for risky for great effect. A 4, success with a consequence.
Yeah, a lot of consequences.
The odds are stacked against you. Hence why it's useful to try and take stress, because you get a 6. That's the only way to not get a consequence.
Success is a success.
Yeah, that's it. So you make it your way down there. And as you're traveling along, the security guard is walking behind you, and he's just looking at you. It takes 3 of you to deliver a jar. Why? Are you all incompetent?
We're here if it goes wrong. You don't want it to go wrong. Can we move along?
Very well. It just seems odd, and he kind of starts looking you up and down. I'm going to go ahead and make a clock for... His thing will be that you've got a clock for him getting suspicious of you. So I'm going to make a clock called Fake Crows. 4-segment clock, and he's going to take a pip in that to realize that you guys aren't legit. So should you start doing things that aren't legit, that's going to increase the amount of noticing that's going on with that. But you arrive in the West Wing. You find a room that is full of shelves with containers similar to the one that you're holding. What do you want to do?
Okay. So, I want to locate the ghost in question. So I know which ghost it is, and so I'm going to attune and figure out. Or actually, you'd be better to attune, right?
Do you want me to?
I think so.
I'm going to make a request.
That's why I'm here, because I'm the ghost expert of our group of ravens.
All right.
Is this an opportunity to lead a team?
Yeah. So if you want to lead a team, basically you can use the teamwork feat, where what happens is one person does a roll and the other 2 people roll on that skill, the same skill. For every success they get, their highest dice counts towards what you're getting. But if they fail, you take the stress. You take 1 stress for every failure that they do. So
you might. Yeah, I didn't know how it played, but I know it was an option. So
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so that's how it works. So
maybe Harker can kind of lead the team because she's kind of taking initiative.
All right,
probably makes sense.
All right, so basically you walk into this room, you see all these jars, and underneath each jar is a number, like a small barcode, 29486, and there's just all these little tiny strips of names under each of these bars. Your goal, I'm assuming in this situation, is to try and attune to the ghost field and hear the person who seems like this drug dealer. Is that what I'm trying to...
Yeah, I reckon that's trying to filter out all the other ghost voices and get that particular one, whilst pretending that I'm just reading the labels to find the label of the failing containment bottle.
All right, so as you start doing that, the security guard looks at you and says, "Which jar is it that you want?" And then I'm going to let you do your roll.
Cool.
So teamwork feat, we'll start by getting Alex and Auldi to make the roll for a tune.
Yep, all right.
So give me those things. It is currently risky for, I would say, limited effect on your end.
Risky, limited.
Oh, whoops.
No bonus dice, I'm assuming.
No, not unless you want to spend stress, but it's probably not great in this situation being a teamwork feat. All right, so you have one failure from Alex, so you take one stress, Harker.
Risky and what?
Limited.
Oh, sorry.
Try and hear the voice of a ghost in a jar. 4 and 4. All right, so that's a success. So you've currently got one as limited effect. So you've got one successful limited effect. Let's see if Harker can improve that.
Okay, so mine is risky for...
Christy, I'll buck, but yeah, we'll go yours. It's still limited effect unless you want to spend stress.
So limited effect means I know...
You'll probably get the general area because there's so many jars and you're just trying to listen out for the voice of a drug dealer who's not going to be sitting there being like, hey, this is my name. This is my name. So you really just have to tune into something else without pushing yourself or using a special ability. I will give you your ghost mind ability because you do get your +1 dice for trying to find information on the supernatural. So you have a bonus dice, but unless you take a devil's bargain or do something else to improve your effect, you're only going to get a general area of where this particular...
So if I take a stress to push myself, 2 stress to push myself,
yep,
then that would get it back to a standard effect?
Correct.
Cool.
Or you could take 4 stress and also get a bonus die.
I've already got 1 bonus die and 1 limited effect success.
Yeah,
I think
that's right.
You get stressed very quickly at this rate.
Yeah. This is a very stressful operation for me.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes sense. I mean, you guys are breaking into a tier 4 area. I mean, the security here is through the roof, and should things go wrong, you're in trouble. It's stressful.
All right. So I've got 1 bonus dice, risky for standard effect.
Yep. Nice. Yeah, 6. Success. Okay,
wow. So, good roll.
Yeah, so you attune and suddenly you just, listening out of all these voices and you hear screams and wails and, pleads and comments and you just hear this, one voice is like, I'm here. And it just calls you straight over to this one particular shelf and you see a number 34681.
I tap the shelf under the jar and say, this one, 34681. This is the one that had the potential issue.
Nice. And the security guard, stands there at the door watching you. All right, make the exchange.
I take the jar.
So you've got the jar there. You need to transport the contents of one jar to the other. How do you want to do it, people?
This feels like it's going to take some teamwork. Somebody to finesse the contents of the jar and somebody to distract the guard.
And also, if you're putting a fake one in there, you need to put your ghost that you've got in another jar into the container. You can't unless you don't want to use it because you've already created a jar. You've currently got a ghost in a jar, and you've got a jar that looks like if you flick a light to make a ghost look like it's in there. So you don't actually have to use your fake ghost at the moment.
Right. You could just break the jar and take the other one.
Take the one we're looking for.
So, I mean, I have 2 spirit bottles.
Right.
Yeah. There's one with the drug dealer, one with this, other ghost that you've met.
Yeah. So if I just exchange a spirit bottle that I'm holding for the spirit bottle that I've picked up from the shelf and put the one that's, we've still got to transfer the ghost.
Well,
or pretend to transfer the ghost.
Hang on. The switch doesn't actually have to occur because what you can do, he thinks the jar is empty. All you do is pull the other jar off, flip the switch so it looks full, and set it back on.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to let you know that he would know that there is a particular procedure or way of this being done, which I don't think any of you know at this moment. So unless you come up with a brilliant way to distract him or, some other flashback or ability or something in between, it's going to look pretty sus.
Auldi, I reckon this is on you to flash back and get this procedure from your raven friends.
Yeah.
Crow friends.
Well, I mean, there's...
The crows wouldn't know this. That is a problem.
Oh.
The spirit warden...
Yeah, this is a little beyond where I would be directly working.
You haven't heard much from Alex. What do you think? He's got an idea of how to help the situation out?
I was just thinking, I'm going to go up to the guard and have a chat with him, and I'm going to kind of intimidate him. What's his name? Do we know his name?
You haven't introduced yourselves. You know nothing about this guy.
All right, you ready?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
You look familiar.
Under a bronze mask.
You sound
I know
familiar.
your type. You sound familiar, and I know. I look at people. I study them. I can tell your build and that voice.
You do not look familiar to me at all.
I've seen you in the drug dens. I hate drugs. They're horrible things.
All right, I will roll you a fortune roll for the chance that he might be in the drug den. Because he is such a higher tier than yourself, and because of your original entanglement roll, I'm going to give you -1 dice. So I'm rolling 2d6 and taking a lower on whether he might be a drug taker.
Can I stress it? Can I stress?
Not on a fortune roll, no. But so he, a 4. I think he is a recovering, recovering druggie. So he used to be in there, and you wouldn't have seen him there for a while. You dare bring up my past?
Yes. I know your type. I know your type. You think it's behind you, but it never is.
All right. Give me a roll. Let's see how he reacts to what you're going to do. What role would you like to do to try and distract this person?
I'm having a flashback, and I'm thinking I can add dice to this because I'm remembering that there was a posted schedule of rotation of guards.
Okay. Yeah.
And this guard has standard duties.
All right. So you want to flashback to a time where you've managed to get this information?
I saw the posted schedule and knew approximately how often guards change. So knowing that a shift would be, what would a long shift be? I would know a long shift.
Okay, so you want to try and make it so that you know when, whether this guy's been on for a long time, or what are you trying to get from this?
This guy probably has to go to his next post or his next position at some point soon. He can't spend all day wandering around.
Okay, I will allow you to spend 1 stress to get that flashback, and fortune roll to see the situation. A 1. No, he's midway through his shift, and he doesn't need to be anywhere else.
Darn it!
You want to give me that sweet roll to see what's happening? What are you thinking to try?
All right, I'm going to try intimidate. So I'm going to command him to. Basically, I'm going to try and shame him with his drug past.
You're going to command him by yelling at him? That's the plan?
I'm going to yell at him and tell him to sit in the corner and think about what he's done.
All right. So you start screaming at him about all these all previous failures in life.
It's like you never get away from the drug. You're horrible. You're
I'm going to tell you this.
Your parents would be ashamed of you.
It's going to be
sit in the corner and think about what you've done.
You say hardened security guard. I'll give you. I'm going to say this is a desperate action. So should you piss him off, he's going to retaliate. And it is for currently limited effect because he is a hardened person. He's gone to a lot of AA meetings to try and get out of this. So, yeah, it is desperate for stand. Now, the advantage to a desperate, if you take a desperate action, you actually get 1 experience in that. So, see where you, above command you got resolve. There is a little selection. By taking desperate actions, you get experience in that action. So you gain experience by taking a desperate action.
So after I've rolled, though?
No. Well, yeah, after you've rolled. So you tell me you're going to do command, desperate for limited effect.
Can I take stress?
You take stress to push either an extra dice to, or a higher effect, or you can take both and do 4 stress for both a higher effect and an extra dice.
I'm taking 4 stress.
4 stress, all right. So you have 1 bonus die, and it's for standard effect. You're really pushing yourself to dig deep into his history and watch those subtle body movements.
All right, so it's desperate.
Desperate for standard effect. 2 dice or 1 bonus dice.
With a bonus dice. Oh yeah!
Oh, success! Yeah. You break him.
Oh,
you get right up in his face.
I'm breaking him.
What do you say to him to break this poor security guard?
Do you remember? I'm sure you remember when your parents were bringing you up and they told you the right way to behave. You have shamed them by your behavior. You have done things you regret on substances your parents would be ashamed of.
And he looks at you and he's just like, I know, that's why Mum left. That's why it happened. And he turns around, starts banging, he puts his head against the door. Why, Mummy?
Okay.
All right, I am going to take advantage of that distraction.
That's a hell of a distraction.
Success. I mean, successes are rare and it's standard effect.
I'm going to switch the bottle that I have that's got our ghost for the bottle that we're trying to take, and hopefully the guard doesn't realize that the bottles have been switched at all.
Okay, now, just so you know, the bottle that you have your ghost in looks different to the one that the guys have, like the spirit wardens have. You could put your ghost into the jar, the fake jar that's been made, which will, and your ghost is willing. You had a success with him before, so he's willing to jump across into the other one, should you like that.
Okay. If the fake jar...
Just because the jar you've got your ghost in looks different to the other one, you're just going to have to make it, switch him across. But that's fine. Give me a roll to do it successfully. It is... I'm going to say, it's still risky, but I'm going to give you a great effect. Like you successfully do it without anything happening because of the guy being distracted and things like that.
Okay. So I reckon that's a finesse roll because I'm trying to do it really subtly without anyone.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
And given where we are in this situation, I'm a bit concerned about how much stress I'm building up, but I think it's worth taking 2 stress to get a bonus dice on this.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
The other option could be that you've got Auldi there. You could do a teamwork feat, and so he could roll that extra dice for you, and you only take 1 stress if he's assisting you. So
yeah, I might be able to block line of sight or all sorts of other things.
Yeah. So if you wanted to do a teamwork roll, you can assist there, or the other option is you can just straight up assist. You give her 2 stress for a success. Not for a success. For an extra dice.
I'll take the 2 stress for
2 stress, and so you get a bonus dice because he's just assisting you like that. That's probably better off because of your finesse has no pips in it. So you take 2 stress, add that on, and you get a bonus dice for this finesse roll of yours.
Yeah. So I've got 1 in finesse.
Yep, 1 in finesse, and then it's currently risky for great effect, and you get 1 bonus dice.
Risky, great effect. 1 bonus dice.
Yes,
Oh.
straight up 6. And so you say
Brilliant.
line of sight gets
Well
blocked
done.
as Auldi steps into the way, and you just like, this movement as quick as anything. You switch out this option, and you've currently got your old jar and the new one.
Cool.
And so as this guy tries to pull himself together, I'm sorry, thanks man. He kind of puts his big hulking hand onto Alexander's shoulders. Like, I needed to get that out. You're a good pal. The crows, they're not that bad.
Yeah. I hope you learned an important lesson today.
We've done our inspection. The bottle's fine.
So you didn't need to switch them?
We had to be sure. I mean, better to check and not switch than not check and have something break.
All right. Because of the give me a roll. It's going to be controlled roll for standard effect. Give me just to convince him that this is the situation.
All right, so that would be sway.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. Am I the best one to do that? Is Aldi better at sway than me?
I have 0 sway.
I have 0 sway.
I will make his head.
I can wreck.
Just smash all the jars and let all the ghosts out. Good luck!
All right, so controlled for standard effect, you said?
Yep.
And let's see how that goes. Ooh.
I think controlled for standard effect, he looks at the that isn't a procedure, but so be it. And I'm going to give you that failure for controlled gives you an extra pip in noticing your fake crows. So should something here happen between here and the exit, so he walks you back out and you start going back down the ways towards the front. As you approach, you still hear this argument going on, and there's a collection of security guard trying to, talk down this grey coat. And I'm going to say, because before he notices you, he's like, there, right there, these guys, this girl, she told me, and she points you out holding the jar. He told me that you have been cheating on my wife. And this draws the attention of the collection of security guards who are standing at the front. What action do you want to take to try and lower the thing on this? Anyone can do anything, should you so desire. I don't feel like it's all.
Yes. Yeah.
You've just been pointed out to a collection of security guards who are all looking at you now. Should problems go on, they might notice that, you don't work here or something might happen. I don't know. Someone might be smart enough to put things together.
I'm going to yell out a name which is hopefully not the name of the main security guard and say, but his wife told me she was sleeping with you, John Smith. I know it's you.
So you're making up a random name.
I am.
All right, cool. Give me a skill check to, I don't know, misdirect. What skill do you want to use?
I'm going to guess sway is probably the best one to use. I mean, it's not really consort, and I don't really want to use consort either. So sway, logic, deception.
All right.
Change attitudes or behavior. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to convince everyone there that the grey coat has actually got a mistaken identity, and the guy he's after is not the guy behind the mask, because he's in a mask. None of us can tell who he is.
Cool. I'm going to say it's a desperate situation. So it's a desperate roll for standard effect. I think it's sway is accurate and what you're doing is good. So Give me that desperate roll, and you get an experience point in resolve if you take this roll.
Okay, so desperate effect, standard effect.
No bonus die unless you want to do something.
I feel like taking some stress to get a bonus die would be worthwhile on this.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Take 2 stress, you get a bonus die.
They're a tier 4 group. We're a tier 0. It's stressful.
Yeah.
So if this goes wrong, it's going to go really wrong.
Really wrong. Yeah.
All right. Let's see what happens.
All right. Okay.
Oh, 2 ones. Yeah. So you call out. You go out. Yeah, this is not John Smith. And they look at you and it's like, John Smith. I'm not John Smith. You're causing problems. What are you doing here? I don't think we even know you. And suddenly all these security guards are paying attention to you, and the grey coat is paying attention to you. They're watching. They're looking at you holding, a jar, trying to walk out the entrance into the front foyer as you come from the back corridors. You guys are in a incredibly desperate situation as you've got the spirit wardens, the guards, everyone is paying attention to you right now, and they straight up believe that you are fake crows. That I'm filling up your pie chart. They don't believe you are who you are. That is your failure.
I want to take the devil's bargain on this because I feel that I could step in and say that she's had a spirit type take effect on her.
Okay.
And that she's not her normal self. Take the jar subtly and move her along and say, I've got to get care for her.
You're going to convince the spirit wardens who manage spirits that there is a spirit inside her. That's our goal here. I'm not going to. There's no devil's bargain. This is going to be your act.
That she's being affected by the spirits.
Okay. You would probably know that is their jam. They resolve these problems. If you're going to bring her somewhere, it is to here. That is something your character would know.
Well, maybe that's not the best plan.
So let's just straight up do things. Harper did last action, so I'm going to let Alex or Auldi step in to do the next action here. Who wants to take charge?
The guy with us that I shamed.
Security guard standing behind. Yep.
Yeah, sobbing on the floor.
He's not anymore. After this action, everyone's starting to think you're fake crows.
Is he frightened of me?
I wouldn't think so. No, you managed to damage him emotionally.
Just damage him emotionally.
Yeah, he's taking emotional
damage.
Angry. Level 2 harm emotional damage.
Well, because I was thinking of commanding him to attack the other guards. Otherwise, I'll reveal his shameful secrets.
All right, okay. Up until that last comment, I was going to be like, yeah, good luck. I will say it is a desperate situation for standard effect, only because you know a secret about his past that you figured out. So the best he can do is buy you some time. Will be his option. So there's almost no way with this option that you'll be able to run out the front door, but you'll be able to run back into the building.
Okay, well, if he can... Well, they seem like pretty tough, so if he can cause a distraction, maybe we can go back into the building and find another exit, maybe?
Yeah, that's quite possible. So, yeah, you want to roll me that command roll?
Yeah, okay. So I've got the result.
Standard effect.
I've got the resolve from my last roll, so it should automatically add another dice.
No.
I did desperate one last.
No. So no. That goes only into the little pip above your name. Yeah. So no, that's it. When that bar fills up, you get an extra pip. So at the moment, you get an extra resolve because it's a desperate action. So you can
resolve fills up like XP.
Yeah, exactly. And once that gets full, you can put a pip into attune, command, consort, or sway.
I get you. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to stress and take a second dice.
So what ability are we using?
Command.
Command. Yep, good. So you get one. So you take 2 stress to get an extra dice on that. Great.
And that's why I asked if he's...
is that 7 stress? Yeah, is that 6 stress? There you go.
6. So that's why I asked if he's frightened, because I'm savage.
No, he's not. He's not frightened, but I am going because I'm going to give you the standard effect instead of limited because of your blackmailing, essentially.
Okay. Desperate roll, standard.
Yep.
And 1 bonus dice.
Yep.
Wish me luck, peeps.
Good luck. 2 out of 5.
So 5,
yeah? Yeah, success with a consequence.
Yeah. Success with a consequence. Okay, yep, I can take that.
All right, the consequence is he's like, go, get out of here. And he manages to, step in front and, the guards start, coming straight at you. He manages to block, a couple of them, but there's still one that started chasing you as you guys turn around to run down the hall. So you've only got one person following you as he's blocked off the way from the other ones coming through. That is your consequence, is that you've got only one guard chasing you down the halls at the moment.
My dear friends, I think we should leg it.
This seems like a brilliant time for a flashback to the 3 of us sitting in our rail car, looking at an unofficial sketch map of the layout of the crematorium.
Yep.
Oh, yes, I definitely remember when we did that.
Making our plan B for our emergency exit.
Yep, great. You take tell me where you want to get this sketch from. Is it purely from Aldi's knowledge? Is that the plan?
No, not only Aldi's knowledge, we also used information from...
Well,
somebody help me out here.
Yeah, we had aerial surveillance
of the roof.
So, well, yeah, we had
a drone.
We had crows go up, and we used a connection with the crows.
Okay, so to find exits on the building, I mean, they're not going to give you blueprints, but you're between your.
Well, we know where the exits are. We know which doors can head outside, and which wings of the building have exits.
And we've spoken to a couple of ghosts who've, been looking to start an underground railroad to get ghosts out of the crematorium. Yeah. Not that they're very good at it. It isn't running yet. But...
All right, there's a lot happening here.
Sorry,
all right, I will. For this type of insanity, I'm going to let you take 1 stress, Harker, for the flashback, and then I'm going to need a roll to see how successful you were in whatever monstrosity that you guys are going to try and wing here.
Can we teamwork? Can we do a teamwork?
Yep, all right, give you a teamwork feat. Just so you know, if you both fail, that's going to push Harker's... who's going to lead the roll here? That's the thing.
Who's got the less stress?
That would be...
I've got 6.
You've got 6 stress?
Yeah, I got 6 stress.
I've got 7 if I take stress for the flashback.
I've got 3.
Oh, there we go. I think, yeah.
All right, so teamwork feat with... Aldi, what are you going to lead here to... What skill do you want to use to try and figure out this stuff?
Oh, gosh. You mean I actually have to think?
It's got to be something like study or survey or attune.
Study. All right, so you currently got no pips in study, but that's fine. You can do it.
I got 1. Oh, wait. No, I sorry. I thought I misread that. I thought I was... You're right. I don't have any pips in that.
Do we each roll?
Yeah, everyone rolls their skill, and if you fail, then Aldi's going to take stress for those failures.
Okay. I've got 1 in survey, but I've got 0 in study.
I've got 2 in study.
Maybe survey.
Oh, study. You got 2 in study, so.
Yeah, but
But Aldi doesn't have any in study.
It's okay. We can do. I mean, it's not about me. It's about the team.
Yeah.
If she's got 2 pips in study, we can use that. But because you'll still get the roll. I'll take the stress. That's fine.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah,
that's great.
Let's do it.
I'll take the stress.
All right, so it's a study roll.
Yep.
It is currently, back then in the flashback, it was controlled for standard effect.
Okay.
All right, so we all roll.
Effect.
Okay.
Controlled standard effect.
All right, so Harker got a 2 and a 4. That's one success. We got 4, and all right, so our best roll is a 4. All right, cool. So that's no failures, which is good.
Yay!
So no additional stress taken, and
So did I take 2 stress or not?
no stress. Stress
okay.
taken. Like Harker took the stress for the flashback. And
Okay.
you were going to take the stress for the teamwork feat, but no one failed, so no stress.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Sorry, I marked it prematurely.
Yep. So you did well. Yeah. So I'm going to say that you believe you know where an exit is. The downside to it is that the closest exit at the moment is through. It's the back door of the crematorium. Like that the risk is that if the fires are burning at the moment, you're gonna take damage to try and slide out the back path as these fires. You can just dive straight through. So, that's the effect is that's the downside. I'm gonna say that at the moment your exit is through the crematorium, so you will be burned if you go through it. Otherwise, you can take a longer way around to get to a different exit, but you'll need another roll to try and get out of here. So you've got an option of you can find a way out and take harm, or you can take another way out.
I don't think we want to go out the crematorium. I think we'd want to. Doesn't sound like a great option.
Yeah, I think. So you're saying we shouldn't take harm?
Well, the longer we stay in the building.
But basically, what's going to happen is if you take the crematorium way, you're going to take some damage, but you will get out. Otherwise, I'm going to need another roll from anyone to try and get to the next place. But this guard is catching up on you.
I would say we don't want to roll again because we could fail. So.
If he's catching up, can we slow him down?
Yeah, if you want to use a roll. I'm
thinking I have in my preparations on my bandolier, I had vials of different chemicals, and I've got some fire oil.
Yep, sounds good.
So I think I can slow him down by smashing one of those vials.
Yeah, great. All right, give me a roll for it. What roll do you want to do to smash some fire oil?
Yeah.
Now, fire oil for the listeners, basically, this is a liquid that as soon as it comes in contact with air, it ignites. So you got a vial of that.
So I think this is wrecking.
Yep, you gonna do a wreck roll?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Using a thing, so it's going to be standard effect. Desperate for standard effect.
Desperate, standard effect, and
great. I am going to say that you as he approaches you, you throw it down on the ground, you smash it, and flames lick up through the air. You manage to successfully distract him, but the consequence is you take a level 1 harm of slightly singed. So put that in your level 1 harm on the left there. You got 2 boxes.
Lightly singed.
Lightly singed. You write that in there. Now, the way that these work, if you get 2 level 1 harms, you get less effect on your roll. So all your standard effects go down 1 level to limited effect. If you get 2 level 2 harms, you lose 1 dice on whatever you're rolling. So if you only got 1 dice in wreck, you take your 1 dice down to 2 dice, take the lower. And level 3 harm is you can't do anything without the help of someone else. Level 4 harm is death. Cool. So you take level 1 harm of
I'm looking where to notate that on the.
So you're right. I'll put it down. I'll put it in there for you. So you got lightly singed.
I need to duck out for a 2-minute bio break.
That's all right. We can do that. Let's we'll come back to this in a second. So we'll pause it for now. We'll come back.
Yeah, let's buy a break here. Yeah. All right. Break time. See you guys.
Thank you. slightly singed.
Okay, we're back. Yes.
Nice.
Go for it.
All right. So last we saw, our intrepid heroes were
Running down a fire-filled
running down a
corridor.
corridor and setting things on fire instead of getting on fire.
Heroes is a very generous term there.
It sure is. We've just had an explosion set off by Auldi on the cog, setting this, creating a distraction for this guard who now can't get past. And you're looking for a way out of this building. I think it's probably Alex's turn to do something. What do you think? What's the next action here?
Okay, so we're still not technically out of the building, are we?
Nope, still in the building. Hallway's on fire. You're near a corridor that will lead to the crematorium. But you believe you have another way out further down the way, potentially through a window.
Okay, because we surveyed before from the flashback, didn't we?
Yeah.
So
you have a general idea of the map. We just need to make sure that we get through there safely. So I need let's say you can lead the team. Which skill do you want to use to try and get through this, remaining area?
All right, team, let's get out of here. Survey, I think.
Survey? Nice.
Yep.
All right, yeah, give me a survey roll. So
all right, let's do it. I probably don't want to stress
it is
myself
currently
because I've got high amounts of stress.
It's currently risky for standard effect, I guess.
Risky, standard. Oh, that's bad.
Yep. All right. So you're running down the way, and you're like, "Oh, cool."
I get lost.
Yeah. No, I think you are. You make. Oh, cool. I know this is it. We'll check the maps. This is exactly the way to go. You get there, and you run through the door that leads to this room with a window, and it's locked. You reach a locked door, and you.
How high is the window?
Yeah, it's pretty high up, but you can't get into that room where the window is at the moment.
I'm going to try and wreck the door.
Wreck the door. All right. Give me that sweet little wreck roll. It is a decent-sized door, but, you're pretty good at smashing shit, so I'll give you the desperate, the guy is coming down the hallway towards you, so it's desperate for a standard effect to try and smash this door in. Should you not make it, this guy's going to get to you and punch you in the face.
Oh, dear. Oh, just.
4. All right, cool. You managed to smash down the door at the last second, but this guy is all up in your face right now. So he hasn't managed to get to you, but you've managed to break open the door. So currently you've got an open door into the room and a guy standing next to all three of you as you try and push into this doorway. What do you want to do?
Run.
Let's go, Harper. You're up.
You're muted.
You're off mute. Still on mute, Harper.
Still muted. Still muted on Zoom.
There you go.
Right, let's try that a second time. I'm going to dash straight for the window and try to get the window open. And you said we were more than first floor?
Yeah. It's a decent drop down because just off you're on a separate, smaller island, and this is reasonably close to the lightning barrier. So, but it's a decent drop. It's probably about a 10-meter drop.
So I reckon I'm going to try to get to the window, get the window open, get my climbing gear engaged so that we can theoretically jump out of the window and escape.
So you're going to sprint over and rig up the climbing gear?
Yeah, leave the guard to these guys who are probably better at dealing with him than I am.
All right. I'll say it's a desperate situation. Should you fail, he's going to manage to block you from getting into the room. So, roll me what skill you want to use to get in there.
This feels like it's a prowl roll.
Yep, that's fine.
I don't have any pips in it, but
that's good. Good way to get some experience. It's desperate, so
we will try it anyway.
Okay. So desperate roll for standard effect. You get over there and set up your thing.
Okay, desperate roll, standard effect. No bonus dice. Wish me luck.
So 2 rolls, take the lower.
Oh,
2 ones.
No.
Yeah, no, you don't manage to get into the room, and I'm going to say as a side effect, he's taken away your climbing gear. He manages to rip it out of your hand as you try to pull it out. He sees what you're doing. So mark off on your climbing gear as a option to two parts of your load.
Mm-hmm.
So you fill in both of those little blips. Because you've got, so you can't manage to get in there, and you've currently lost your climbing gear. Let's take it over to Auldi. What do you got?
Well, I've got a cane sword,
and
he's got his
in the
hand.
doorway. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a cane sword, and he's got his hands full.
Yep.
So I take a mad swipe across like his top of his body with my cane sword.
Yep. Great. Desperate action for standard effect. Should you not, he's going to swing this climbing gear down upon you. It's bludgeoning damage.
Yeah. So is this wreck or
whatever your heart desires?
Yeah, I'm gonna wreck him. That's so.
Yep.
This is desperate.
Desperate for standard effect.
Yep. And
he's already burnt from the fire that you hit him with before, so he's pretty weak. I mean, he's weak.
Yeah,
not enough to be problematic.
I think I want to. I want to add some bonus dice here.
All right, you want to take some stress? You want to do a devil's bargain? What do you like?
Well, I want to hear the devil's bargain.
All right, I'm going to say devil's bargain is you can have a I'll give you an extra dice, assuming that's what you want. But another guard's going to come around the corridor.
I'm trying to eliminate the guards completely, so I'll take the stress on this one.
Got it.
So do I mark 2 stress off now?
2 stress to push yourself, yep.
All right, pushing myself. And adding a bonus die.
Yep.
Now submitting.
Failure. So you take a swing at this guy, and he is well versed in combat and just takes this climbing gear and swings it down on you, smacking you in the back of the head. So that's going to be level 2 harm for brutalness. Now your options are you can resist it if you so desire. To resist damage, you can either A, use your armor. So if you use basic armor, it reduces it down from a level 2 harm to level 1 harm. If you use heavy armor, it reduces it from a level 2 harm down to nothing. Or you can resist it where you take 5 stress and roll your lowest attribute, which is either Insight, Prowess, or Resolve. And whatever you get on the dice, you take that away from the stress you're about to take. So you take the 5 stress, you roll a 4, it's only 1 stress incident. You roll a 1, you take 4 stress, which would probably push you into your trauma section.
Well, 5 stress takes me into my trauma section.
So you don't take the stress until you roll that dice. So you'll take 5, but it's subtracted by whatever you roll on a dice for Resolve.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna resist.
You're gonna resist it just as is?
Well, I mean, I not sure I like my options here. That's like
you can just take the level 2 harm. Like that's an option for you as well.
Well, that really slows me down.
Not really.
Well, yeah, no, I'll take that because I theoretically I can mend myself.
Yes, yeah. So you can roll to try and heal yourself in your downtime. So you take a beating. So so I'm going to say bruised spine.
Oof.
Yeah, as this take some bruised spine damage as this climbing gear comes and smashes down upon you. Cool. All right, let's switch over to Alex. What you got? This guy's laying a wail upon your friends.
All right. So he's focused on Auldi and smashing him, right?
Yep, he's just taken this giant climbing gear and brought it down upon him.
I'm going to skirmish and attack him with my bone dagger.
Right.
My literal bone dagger.
Yep. Desperate for standard effect. You also took your bonus before for the Aldi, because you just did a rec roll, you can put one little desperate action in prowess there, yeah? So just above prowess, you get a little flag at the top there. So that's because you took a desperate action, you get a little bonus.
Okay, I'll look for it. I'm not seeing it.
Just here. That show.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, so
Thanks.
because you took a desperate action, you get that.
Okay.
All right, great. Yeah, give me... Go on.
Do I get a bonus because of my weapon I've got? Or is that just selecting the weapon, basically?
Your weapon will give you your standard effect. It's up from limited. So as opposed to...
that's how it works. Okay. All right, so skirmish turn.
Yeah, so desperate for standard effect.
Come on.
Success. He's going to take that level 2 harm, which is going to give him less effect on things, and he's pretty badly wounded. The consequence is that in your process, he tries to use the climbing gear as a shield, and it gets cut up in a way that it can't be used anymore. So the climbing gear is ruined.
Sorry, Harker.
But he's wounded. He's slashed across the chest and bleeding. Cool. Which takes us to Harker's turn.
Right. So this guard is wounded, slashed across the chest. Is he still blocking the doorway?
Not well, but I mean he's there. You can try and get past. He's got a limited effect in trying to block you, so you'll have a better effect in getting past him.
All right. I'm going to try to get past him.
Right, cool. Desperate for great effect.
Skirmish, I guess.
You want to try and use your weaving and dodging to try and do that?
Yeah, I reckon that's the way to go.
All right. You don't have any points in skirmish, so
yeah,
you might be. I mean, you might be better to try and finesse past him if you use subtle misdirection to be like, I'm going this. Oh, not really.
Oh yeah, I guess that
you can justify it in any way you want. I'm just trying to help you out here.
No, totally. I keep thinking of finesse as being like.
Yeah. So if you hover over it, it actually tells you finesse an item from someone's pocket, employ subtle misdirection or sleight of hand, or handle a vehicle or mount. Yeah. So anyway.
Well, I reckon finesse is the better choice then.
All right, let's do it.
So I'm going to try to finesse my way past this guard.
Yep.
Desperate, you said, for standard?
Desperate for great effect, because he's wounded.
Okay. Desperate for great. And let's see how we go.
I'll give you that devil's bargain for extra dice if you want another guard to come running around the corner.
Oh.
At this point, the guard is our biggest problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but he's coming around the corner. The other one's not there yet. You're fine. You live forever.
Don't listen to the GM.
Yeah. If I don't get past this guard at this point, I'm going to advise the crew that we should just go back and go through the crematorium.
All right, cool.
Take a bit of singeing to get out.
All right, let's do it. Finesse, straight up 6.
Ah.
You managed to get past and you open that window. You're looking out at a 10-meter drop or American conversion. Not sure what that is.
Very high.
12 yards? 30 foot.
Wow, yeah, pretty much. So you can climb out of this. You're standing on the edge there of the window. Do you want to try and do anything?
I'm down climbing gear, but I still reckon that climbing out the window is probably the way to go.
Yep.
How is it? Are there like bricks we can hold on to try to climb down, or is it a jumping exercise?
I'll give you a fortune roll. Let's have a look. 2 dice, take the lower. A 4. Look, it's climbable. It's going to be. It's not impossible, so it'd be risky to try and get down.
Cool.
Oh, sorry, hang on. It's a 2. Is it take the lower? You're going to fall. It's a desperate action to try and climb down. If you fall, you will take some reasonably heavy damage. My apologies. I looked for the higher as opposed to the lower. Look at me go.
What do you reckon, Alexander, Auldi? This is going to be a hard climb.
I think 10 meters is a little rough.
Does anyone else have climbing gear on them? That's the question. I mean, what have you used up?
I've only got
who brought the backup climbing gear?
Yeah, not me.
Aldi has climbing gear, and you've only used up 2 of your 5 slots.
Yeah. Extra climbing gear.
Yeah, if you want to pull out, if you want to,
All right, we should be all right then.
yeah. So you could use your climbing gear if you were so interested.
Let's get out of here. Climb
Yes.
down. Yes,
Please.
Climb down.
All right, let's do it.
All right. You currently Alexander and Auldi are still with the guard. Danielle's in the room. That's not Danielle. Harker's in the room.
Come on, guys, get in here.
Yeah.
Can I do a protect the teammate so Auldi can get free, and I'll just take the guy on by myself?
Yeah, go for it. You know, take an action to try and stab at him, assuming it's officially Aldi's turn, but if you want to pass for a second to try and get that happening. Yeah,
Yep.
that Aldi?
All right. I'm gonna try and wreck him again.
All right, do it.
Okay.
It is desperate for great effect because he's weakened.
I am going to I want to assist him. Like
Yeah,
as
so
I
you
see
like
him,
straight up assist, give 2. You can either use your wreck ability and do a teamwork action. So that's potentially less risk of stress, or you can straight up aid him and give him an extra dice for 2 stress.
I think I want to aid and give him extra dice for the 2 stress.
All right.
And what I'm going to do is try to trip the guard up as I'm getting away from, to head out towards the window.
Beautiful. All right. So you get an extra dice on this roll for your skirmish. For your wreck, sorry.
Yeah, so desperate.
Desperate for great effect because he's wounded, and you get 1 bonus dice because of Aldo. Aldi.
Oh, look at that.
Success.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely. Look at that.
You run this guy through in a way that he starts, he's bleeding out. He needs help. He's fallen onto the ground and bleeding out on the ground. So, yeah, you guys can all get past into the room. What are you going to do?
We got to hurry before he dies.
Yeah.
Can I stabilize him so that he'll last like hours?
Yeah. You can, use one of your chemicals perhaps to pour some sealant on it to seal up his wound.
Yeah. Just seal the wound. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Give me a roll. Why not?
Let's see. I believe that's going to be this one.
It's going to be controlled. Tinker. Yeah, controlled for standard effect.
Yep.
You fail. He starts bleeding out even more so.
Well,
we haven't got long.
Let's hurry.
He's probably going to die now. So
I tried.
He's allergic to penicillin, and you just poured that straight in. Starts swelling up. Blood splashing. All right, cool. So you're currently standing at a window. Now, what do you want to do?
We're gonna climb out.
I want to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you pull out the climbing gear. Who wants to lead the climb? You want to do a teamwork feat for this one?
Yes, please.
You guys are just racking up stress left and right. Who's going to lead it?
I don't think I can.
The only one I wouldn't recommend. Oh no! Look out. The best person to lead it is Alexander, just because he's got 3 stress. So even if he takes 2, he won't hit a trauma.
Yeah. I will. Yeah. All right. I'll lead. I'll lead. Aldi, give me your climbing gear. I'll take the lead.
Thank you.
All right, cool. So teamwork feat. What ability do you want to use to climb down?
Now that is the question. I have nothing in finesse. Can I use prowl? Because prowl's climbing, so I'm going to use prowl.
All right, prowl. So can I get Harker and Auldi to roll prowl rolls to see what we're at? It is currently it is a desperate roll for standard effect.
Okay.
Okay, that's 1 failure from Harker. And a success from Aldo. So you take 1 stress and you've currently got a 4 on the dice. That puts you up to the same stress as everyone else. With a solid...
So
So
I
you take
take one stress.
I just put that on there if you like.
Yep. And then I roll for
And now
prowl.
you roll for prowl, yeah.
Let's do it. Risky? Desperate?
It is desperate because of the way that the sheer face is for standard effect. The effect is improved because of the climbing gear.
No bonus dice, was it?
No bonus dice. You currently have a 4 in the pool.
Okay, I get you. Yeah. Oh,
and natural one. So the best roll we got is a 4, which is thing with a consequence. What's that consequence? I am going to say that. I'm going to say the roll as you're climbing down the rope, that it falls off, and you guys are going to take level 1 harm as you fall the last few meters towards the ground. So anyone can resist that if you like, or you can just take level 1 harm.
Well, I think I already have level 1 harm.
Yeah, so that means your things will be less effective. So all your standard effects will become limited from this point on. Otherwise, you can use armor to reduce it. Have you got any 1, 2, 3, 4? No, you've got no things left to use your.
No slots left.
Yeah, so you'll have to take the level 1, or you can try and resist it.
But if I resist, I'm risking 2 stress, aren't I?
You're risking 5 stress.
I'll take the trauma.
It could be no stress. It's between 0 and 9.
Well, I can't take more than 2, or I get.
Yeah, that's it. To get trauma.
Yeah.
So I can take 1 point of armor. And
let's see. Have a look here. You've got armor takes 2, and you've used only the climbing gear, so you can equip your armor and take no damage from that. So if you want to use two of your things, which if you fill in the armor, which takes up 2 of your slots, you won't take any damage from that last fall.
I think that's probably a good idea.
I would think so too.
I reckon I'll do that.
Great.
Yeah,
so
I'll do this. I'll do the same.
All right.
I've got armor. So
you've got armor, but you've got the space to fill it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's the last thing you've got to use. Cool. And we've got I'll say twisted ankle is under your damage. Yeah, for Auldi.
Okay.
Oof, twisted ankle.
Yeah.
Slightly
singed and bruised spine. Living the dream. So all your rolls will have less effect. But you guys are currently on the ground outside the back of the crematorium. I want a singular roll to try and get away unnoticed. Who wants to lead it or do it or whatever?
Well, I mean, wouldn't we have parked our getaway vehicle?
You could have. Is there someone who wants to take some stress to have a flashback?
Yes.
It'll be a 1 stress option I'll give you a flashback to say you parked your vehicle under this window.
I'll take the stress on that one.
Take the stress? All right, done. You've got your vehicle there. You're good to go. That'll give you a great effect on your escape roll. So who wants to drive the car? Normally it is a finesse roll to drive, but you can convince me otherwise with whatever you want.
I've got 1 in finesse if you guys want me to drive.
Yes, maybe you drive actually, yeah.
Cool. You get a +1 for your vehicle. You get a +1 effect for your vehicle, so it'll be great effect to get away.
Okay.
So yeah, now you could use the teamwork feat to help drive if you wanted to take 1 stress on there, Alex.
Yes.
You could risk it, right? So you could roll me a finesse roll if you like. I'm assuming we're using finesse. Is that right, Harker?
Yeah.
Yep. So roll me the finesse roll.
Do we get bonus because for the crew setup we put 2 points into vehicle? Is that
vehicle? That gives you the vehicle, a working vehicle. That's what you have.
Oh.
So you have the vehicle because of that. Your ability with the Reavers, you get to a greater effect when you're using the car. So that's why you got great effect now to get away. So should you succeed on this roll, you will get away.
Ooh, okay, no pressure. So
if Alex is leading, that means...
Is it you're leading? Alex
I'm
is
leading?
assisting you. Yeah.
All right.
If you got finesse, he doesn't.
And I take the stress for that, is that right?
No. If you fail, Harker will take the stress.
Ooh, okay. No pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure.
It is currently I'm going to say desperate because you guys are panicked and stressed as hell for great effect.
Oh, we got a great effect. And no bonus dice.
Not for you. A 4 and a 6. 4 is a success. So currently we're doing well. You got a 4 to work with. All right, Harker, you can roll me your desperation. Now you will get because you're rolling the desperation, you will get the bonus for your prowess.
So
in your
desperate
XP.
action.
Yep, desperate, great effect. And roll it. 1. Okay,
Ooh.
so 4 is your best option. I'm going to say that you successfully get away, but they notice your car, and because you are the only ones with a car like this, I'm going to increase the heat that your crew has. So by 1, I'll give you 1 heat because they've realized who you are for doing that. But yeah, cool. But to them, that's what's happened. You've gone through, but you managed to get away and make it back to your little train yard. Successful score.
Yeah. Fortunately,
can we
planned
say we put our
ahead.
booster on?
Yeah, you want to use one of your 2 boosts that the car has?
Yeah, just say our Mini
Just
Cooper
to use
boost.
it. Yeah, you kick it in. It's like, that was your help action. You just hit the boost button. God, Alex! And she loses control. That's what
We're just going to drive into the train car. It's like got a little.
Oh, yeah. Like a action movie, yeah.
And this score is successfully completed. Well done.
Yay!
Boy, that was a rough.
That was something. That was something.
God. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. All right, so let's just do a little wrap up of the score here, shall we?
Yeah.
Please.
So, would you like to do crew experience first or personal experience first?
Let's do the crew first.
Let's do the crew.
Yeah.
All right. Let's where are we? Downtime. All right, fuck it. 1 second. Here we are. All right. So we start off by looking at the payoff. So you come in. Do you give the ghost over to this girl? Or you just say it's taken care of when you go back to see Stasia? Do you want to give her the previous ghost drug deal, or do you want to keep it yourself and just say it's been taken care of? What do you like?
I think our plan was to free the ghost, so the ghost owes us a favor for our next score.
All right, so you want to keep the ghost, yeah?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so you go back to Stasia and just be like, it's taken care of. Give me the money. That's the plan? Yep, done. All right, so Stasia's like, oh, thank you so much. I can keep my business going later. And she hands you your 2 coin that you've got for the thing. So the crew now has 3 coin, which is pretty cool. The crew earns 2 rep for the score by default. So your rep goes up a little bit. If the score is higher tier than you are, take 1 rep per higher tier. Okay, well, it is. It's a lot higher than you. You are that was a level 4 tier, and you are level 4. So that pushes you up to
Nice.
is that right? To the. Is that doing that? Yeah, so you've got it doesn't push you up. So you've got 2 for that, 1, 2, 3, 4 for that. So it's pushed your rep up by 4 points.
And to be
great.
fair, it was a really strange way of doing it.
Yes.
We'll come back to that. All right, heat. All right, so let's look at your heat. Was it smooth, quiet with low exposure? I don't think so.
No.
Contained with sound and exposure. I'm going to no. It's loud and chaotic with high exposure. I'm going to say that it was loud and chaotic with high exposure. So I'm going to give you 4 heats for that, which is great. So you've nearly 4 more heat, you get a wanted level. Incarceration.
That's 1 extra heat from that.
Now, Add 1 heat for your thing. Add 1 heat if the situation happened on hostile turf. It was on hostile turf, so that goes up by 1 as well. Add 1 heat if you're at war with another faction. You're not. Add 2 heat if killing was involved. I don't think he died. He was gravely wounded, but I think his people would be able to get to him before that, so that's okay. And no wanted heat. That's fine. When you heat, no, great. So no wanted level, nothing there. Beautiful. That's all great things. Variation downtime. So the only other thing at the end of that. Engagement. All right, I'm okay with that. There should be an entanglement roll, but we'll deal with that. All right, so that's the outcome. You've got a lot of reputation and a lot of heat. Now we'll look at the XP. At the end of each session, do this. All right, so 1 XP for the following. You execute a successful smuggling or acquire new clients or contraband sources. I'm going to say yes, you can class this as smuggling. You managed to get one thing that from one location to another. And you did acquire a new client. So, yes, I'm going to give you 2 XP for 1 for each of those. It didn't really involve contraband, but that's it. Contend with challenges above your current station. Absolutely, you did. So, an XP for that. Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one. I think you went about it strangely, but it didn't bolster you as a strange crew. It just seemed maybe chaotic. It probably comes to mind more than that.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to give you an XP. And you express the goals, drives, inner conflict, and essential nature of the crew. What do you think? Did you do that? I mean, express the goals. I mean, you are smugglers, so I'll give you an XP point for that. So you got 4 XP in total for that adventure. Good times. All right, so let's run through the group. We'll start with let's go, Alex. We'll do your XP. All right. Every time you roll a desperate action, you get to put 1 little pip in those things. So I think was it only the 1 desperate action that wasn't an assist? I think that's correct. I think I kept on top of that pretty well. So we've done that. Where are we? Oh yeah, you've got 1 in prowess and 2 in resolve, which is good. You address a challenge with violence or coercion. I think you did. Like you fought the guy at the end, and you also convinced him to be depressed about his background and history of drugs. I think it was the only 2 times you fought. Is that correct? I don't think there was any more than that.
Yes, that would be it. Yep.
Cool. So you've got the option here. So you can either put in XP and playbook advancement at the bottom of your thing, or you can put an XP under one of your other insight, prowess, or resolve. So you've currently got 2. Is there any way you want to put those XP?
Playbook, I think.
Playbook. So that will give you an additional ability should you fill that up. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. Before the score, you mentioned your hatred of drugs and hatred of gambling and things like that, but I don't think it really came up in the score. So I'm not going to give you anything for that unless you can advise otherwise.
Well, I shamed the guard because of my dislike of drugs and drug takers.
All right, I'll give it to you. I'll let you have an XP for that, so put an XP around for that.
Yep.
And you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma during the session. Now, you don't have any vices. You don't have any trauma, and your vice is doing weird things. I don't think anything.
Yes, I didn't really get a chance to do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's
I was hoping to, but no.
No, didn't come up. So that's all right. So you've got 3 experience plus all. Yeah, so 6 experience in total. Pretty good. All right, let's jump over to Auldi. You had 1 desperate action in prowess. I don't think there was any others, was there, to your knowledge?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think that was it.
All right, let's have a look here. So for some reason, your sheet is slightly askew. So let me fix that. Come on. Sorry, I'm just missing the ability that gives you what you get experience for. What are you, a leech? Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So you addressed a challenge with technical skill or mayhem. I'm going to say you definitely did use the tinkering for your explosion of your fire oil for your technical skill. Mayhem, quite likely, yeah. I mean, things go a bit nuts towards the end with the firing and explosions and things. So I'll give you one for the fire oil and one for your battling at the end with the guard. Is there anything else that you think you could get experience for doing technical skill? Oh, you could get an XP for your jar making. I'll give that to you as well.
Yeah, that jar is the thing that I would add.
Yeah, so I'll give you 2 experience, like one for the vial, one for the jar, and one for your fighting with the guy at the end in mayhem. Anything else you can think of that came up?
I think that's good.
Nope, yeah. Great. You expressed your drives, heritage, background, or beliefs. So I don't think the drive came up or your background. I think your background did because of the crows. I'll give you one for that because of all your history and involving the crows and how you access that. I'll give you an XP for that. Anything else that you think deserves an XP?
No, I think that's probably that's solid.
And you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma during the session. So your obligation to the crows, I don't think you really struggled with issues from them. So I don't think I'll give you an XP for that one, which is okay. Cool. Harker, let's look at yourself. All right, so you've got, oh, wow, you did a lot of prowessing. You really leveled up.
And I failed on most of them too.
Yeah, nice. So we did that. You addressed a challenge with knowledge or arcane power. You definitely did. You found the original ghost with your arcane
I heard the ghost in the jar.
Yep. I'll put that under the same, that incident. The moving, you mean at the, when we move the jars around? Or you just switch? Yeah. Okay, I'll give you one for that. Yep, the arcane knowledge. Anything else you think came up with knowledge or arcane power in your travels?
No, I think it was pretty much finding the ghost and then, again, finding the right jar to switch it with.
Nice. Now, that gives you 2 experience. You could use those 2 XP to put it into prowess and give yourself an extra pip in one of those things if you wanted. So you've got 2 XP. You can either put them at the bottom under Playbook Advancement to get another ability and start working towards that, or you can put them up into your prowess section and then fill up that bar, which will give you another pip in Finesse, Prow, Skirmish, or Wreck.
I feel like putting them in prowess would probably do me good.
All right, so you put them both in there and you get to put 1 pip in Finesse, Prow, Skirmish, or Wreck. Which one would you like to improve?
I'm feeling like maybe I need to be a little bit better at actually fighting with people. So
Skirmish?
Skirmish, yeah.
Nice. Now, the side bonus to that, if you look at the Insight Person Resolve, you can see that line that separates them is your insight. So you currently have 2 pips in insight, now 2 in prowess and 2 in resolve. So whenever you're doing downtime activities, you have to roll your lowest of those things and take that as your option to remove stress. So you're currently in the best position to do that out of everyone. That's good. All right. So you expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. Do you think any of that came up in the score? Nothing sticks out to me.
No,
there's nothing about trade, and there wasn't a whole lot about the Dagger Isles.
No, we talked about the Dagger Isles, but it didn't really come up in the score itself.
No, so I don't think so. You struggle with your vice or trauma during the session. So your vice is weird.
I didn't get the opportunity.
Weird. I mean, strange rituals, but I don't think you struggled with it. So I'm going to say no on that as well. So only the 2 additional experience on it. So that's everyone leveling up their experience. So all your characters have, gone up to that next level. The last thing we have is an entanglement roll to see what happened after what happened afterwards to see, whether shit went down. Where is entanglement? Let me just quickly check for you too. Who's in there? Entanglements, great. All right, so here we look at and say, okay, after the payoff, the heat is determined. The GM generates entanglements for the crew. Find the column that matches. Okay, so you've currently got under your heat. Where is your heat at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 heat, 6 plus heat. All right, great. All right, we roll a dice to see the current situation of what happens to you. So I'll go ahead and roll a d6. A 6. Arrest. Lovely. Inspector presents a case file of evidence to a magistrate. You begin the prosecution of your crew. Bluecoat sent a detail to arrest you, a gang at least on the scale equal to your wanted level. Pay them off with coin equal to your wanted level plus 3. Or your wanted level plus 3, so you have to give them 3 coin to make them go away. Or hand someone over for arrest, and it clears your heat. To try to evade capture. So basically the Bluecoats come knocking at your little train cart, and they say, hey, we want to do something, blah, blah, blah. We're here to arrest you. Now, options are, 1, you can give up one of your members. You just straight up give them up, all your heat goes away. 2, you can try and resist this by taking stress to try and convince them that you don't have enough evidence, blah, 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 blah. So you will roll... you'll roll you'll take 6 stress. Take 5 stress, and then you will reduce your the outcome by whatever that is. So, who wants to be the talker on this to try and convince them that you haven't got enough intel on us, or you've wrong people, or whatever?
I'll do it.
You'll do it.
I'll do it.
All right.
I mean,
cool. So
yeah. Well, I mean, it's not all bad to get arrested in this game because it like helps your reputation.
It does. You just have to play another character if we come back because they'll be in jail.
Well, then I don't want to do that.
We can
talk us out of this.
Yeah. All right, so let's do it. Alexander, what are you going to do? Try and talk out these guys?
Gonna talk them out.
All right. What? It's going to be a resist roll. So what's your lowest score? Where are we, Alexander? There we go. Your lowest, insight or resolve. You can use either to try and resist the roll. So you take 5 stress and then roll an insight roll or resolve roll. Take your pick, doesn't matter. It's the same thing.
Resolve, I think.
Yep.
No bonus dice?
No bonus dice. 3. So you take 2 stress, which is going to push you into a level of trauma. So
I'm in trauma.
Yeah, so you clear out all your stress and you get a trauma. What trauma would you like? Do you like this event of dealing with these people has caused you to something to happen in your brain? So now you've either become cold, haunted, obsessed, paranoid, reckless, soft, unstable, or vicious. What do you reckon? How's this going to manifest in his psyche?
I think he's going to be unstable.
Unstable? Yeah. All right. Yep. Cool. So you're currently now unstable as a player. Now, the advantage to being unstable is that if you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma during the session, you get extra XP. So if you do things that prove you're unstable during a store, you get additional experience. So fun bonuses. But yeah, you're now trauma, but you've cleared all your stress. Isn't that nice?
Isn't that nice? But I got a trauma.
Just for a mental break. All right, that's your entanglement. All right, so now everyone gets 2 downtime activities each. Your downtime is, I'm assuming most of you are going to want to remove stress.
Can I can add dice to...
Yeah, so basically during your downtime, you can either acquire an asset, which is one of the things for the crew, work towards that. Long-term project, which might be I want to build a new car, and so you can do that. Recover, which will heal up your damage. Reduce heat, which makes it so that you get less problems later on. Train, which you work on improving a skill, like you get 2 pips in your. You get a XP in insight, resolve, or prowess. But because of your crew, you actually are better at you train better in prowess. So if you train in prowess, you get 2 XP. Or indulge in your vice, which reduces stress. So who wants to go first?
Reducing heat.
Yeah, so you want to go first, Alex, and reduce heat?
Yep.
Yeah, all right, cool. So to reduce heat, you pick an action, and depending on what you roll, reduces such a thing. So, so basically on your roll depends on how much stress you reduce. So what ability do you want to use to try and reduce heat and how are you going to go about it?
Can I... I want to wreck a building and then kind of leave some kind of evidence there that is evidence of another group, not us.
All right. And so you're going to try and plant evidence by making a scene and then planting evidence to make it look like someone else is going under for it.
Yeah.
All right. Roll me that rec check.
Risky?
Control. This effect. It doesn't matter here. You won't. There's no result.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, 6. So you straight up remove 3 of your. Remove 3 heat.
3 of the heat. Ooh.
So your heat goes back by 3. So they put you down to 3 heat in total. You had 6 and you've gone back to 3. Cool. Great. All right. So let's jump across. Harker or Auldi? Who wants to do the next downtime?
Well, I think that I've got the Psy-Sicker. Can I get an extra die on treatment rolls?
That's for your history. Yeah, that's what you're going with. Where are we?
Well, for healing or
where's your character sheet there? See all your abilities. Did you have a special ability?
I created one when I did the hard sheet.
Okay, cool.
So it's on there. So I didn't.
Which ability did you take?
I took Psy-Sicker.
Cool. So you can tinker with bones, blood, and bodily humors to treat wounds and stabilize. So you get a +1 dice when healing on treatment rolls. Cool. All right. So you want to try and treat yourself?
I think treating one of the others probably would be something I would do first. So Harker.
I don't think either of them have any
most
damage.
Injured.
You're the only one injured.
I'm the only one injured. Great. I'll take care of myself.
Yeah. So basically, you want to roll, I'm assuming, Tinker. Is that right? To try and heal yourself. So Tinker, and you get a +1 dice. So you roll 3 dice. So it is controlled for standard effect. If you get a crit, you get to heal up completely. Otherwise, you only you basically for 1, 2, or 3, you'll heal up 1 quarter. 4 or 5, you heal up 2, and a 6. Oh, cool! You got a crit. So basically, you straight up heal your thing. So your bruised spine just goes down to bruising, and all your level 1 goes down. So you currently got only 1 thing there, and you're partly healed. So you're currently just bruised. Everything drops down by 1, and you've got 1. You're partly on your way to healing the bruising as well. So good. That's perfect. That is the best situation.
That was needed.
Yeah, nice. All right, Harker, what you got? What do you want to do for your downtime activity?
I am going to try to get rid of some of my stress.
Yeah, indulging in your vice.
Indulging in my vice, which my vice is weird. Rituals and forbidden law specifically. Yeah. I want to see if I can learn that specific ritual that we were supposed to use to transfer the ghosts.
Okay,
Next time.
All right.
Next time I'll know.
Yeah, so you're going to start playing with maybe the ghost and try and transfer it from one location to other. So you have to roll your lowest, which either is Insight, Prowess, or Resolve. You currently have 2 pips in all of those. So pick one and roll it to see how much stress you reduce.
All right. Resolve has got a tune, so it's probably Resolve. But it's going to be the same number of dice anyway.
Yep. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. You rolled a 5, so you remove 5 stress. which is great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it takes you back to 2 stress in total.
Nice.
So it really drops you back, which is amazing. So that's good. And what I'll do is I'll start a little clock for you to spirit moving technique. So basically what's going to happen, it's going to be a six-part thing, but I'll give you just one wedge in it to, figure out the technique. So you're starting to learn a few little tricks and trades as you go along in figuring that out. Actually, I'll give you 2 because you did pretty well in the roll. Cool. All right. Well, that takes us over. Let's go back to Alex for your second activity.
Oh, that's right. There's 2, isn't it?
Yep.
So for my next one, trick. Let's.
So you got acquire an asset, long-term project, recover, reduce heat, train, or indulge in vice. You don't need to indulge in your vice because you're stressless. So yeah.
What if a hidden lair? Can I make a hidden lair?
You can walk towards acquiring an asset. So work towards improving the situation of the crew.
Making it mobile.
Actually, I think that actually comes under the crew's abilities. So you can getting asset. It gives you one temporary use of an asset. You can use one special item, get a cohort to join you, another vehicle, or a service. So basically, it gives you an option that you can use this later on in, one of your skills, one of your events. So you can say, "Cool, I want to find a car. I want to find a ship. I want to find some documents. Something like that."
Okay, let's do that.
All right, cool. All right, so what would you want to be looking for your asset? Service, I assume, or a specialized item?
Specialized item.
Cool. All right, roll me, or what do we have to roll here? Temporary use. To acquire the asset, roll the crew's tier, which is 0, and the roll indicates the quality of your asset. So roll 2 dice, take the lower. So 2d6, and just you can roll any of your empty pips if you like. It's probably easiest.
Empty pips, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You just put one in prowl. You just kicked. Yeah, so there you go. Just click on prowl.
Oh.
Yeah, so click on prowl.
Oh, yeah. So control draw?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
So you rolled a 1. So you basically get a tier -1 item. So you have an item you can use in the crew. So we'll give you under notes you have, 1 level 0 item, but it's a specialized item, so it'll give you a better effect. Use on next score. Good. Who do we have next? That was Auldi. You went next, I think. Is that right?
Oh, for
the second downtime activity.
The second one. Well, I'm thinking I work to improve my stabilization of wounds, so I can better stabilize wounds. Like,
I probably would recommend you trying to reduce stress.
Oh, okay.
Just only because you've got 8. It just makes it really difficult for
okay.
The next score.
Yeah, so I'll reduce stress. Do I roll for that?
You roll your lowest ability, which would be your resolve. So you roll that and then take that much stress off. So you engage in by obligation to the crows. You go and do work for them.
Yep. Indulge vice.
Yeah. So by doing, obligations to them. So you click on resolve.
Where's resolve?
On the right-hand side, it says resolve above your attuned command consort in black.
Ooh, I'm trying to find. There it is. Got it.
Yeah. So click on the word resolve.
Laptop's just going out of battery, so I'm going to plug it in quickly.
No worries.
Hopefully that was...
Resolve 4. You clear 4 stress as you do your obligation and work. So you drop that back by 4. 1, 2, 3, So you're currently left with 3 stress. Not bad.
That's much more reasonable.
Nice. All right. And finishing us up, we've got Harker. What was your final downtime activity?
I reckon I'm going to train for my final downtime activity.
Train in prowess or one of the others? So the advantage to training prowess is you get 2 lines, whereas all the other ones you get 1. So
let's try training in prowess then.
I think you just straight up succeed for training. Let me just double check that. Train. When you spend time, mark 1 XP on the track attribute, blah, blah. Yeah, that's it. So you straight up, you get to click 2 in prowess.
Cool.
Done.
All right. Easy.
And that is officially the end of a Blades in the Dark double session almost, with the score and your downtime activities.
That was brilliant.
Thank you, Lachie. That was really good.
Good work, team.
So we had,
thank you. It's a good system.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
so we
very
had
playable.
Ben just doing the downtime stuff, which is hopefully handy for people who are
So normally during downtime,
learning how to play.
Yeah, you'd also go through and we'd do some free play activities just to fill in some time. You talk to other people, you see their responses for the people you didn't do their activities and be like, hey, what's the deal? You play out that, but, we don't have another hour. So,
So, I think if we do another one-shot of Blades of the Dark, we can... we can
bring the
continue with these
revolvers
characters.
back for another heist.
Yeah.
Maybe cash in on the job that you've already been paid for.
That's right.
All right, so we'll close off the recording now. And
good work. It's been another pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
All right, thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.